Have you ever felt like something was just off? You know that feeling in your gut, that little whisper telling you to pay attention? That's exactly where Mark found himself. He and Sarah had what everyone called a picture-perfect marriage. They were high school sweethearts, the kind of couple you see in movies. Mark thought their love was a fortress, unshakable, and built on years of shared dreams and laughter. He believed every "I love you," every tender glance. But actions, as they say, often speak louder than words. It all started subtly. A missed call here, a late night at the office there. At first, Mark brushed it off. "She's just busy," he'd tell himself. Sarah was a successful architect, and her projects were demanding. He was her biggest cheerleader, proud of her ambition. He'd make dinner, wait up for her, and greet her with a smile no matter how late. He wanted to be the supportive husband she deserved. But the late nights became more frequent, and the excuses started to feel a little thin, a little too rehearsed. The warmth that once filled their home began to feel like a draft. The real turning point came on their anniversary. Mark had planned a surprise dinner at the restaurant where he first proposed. He'd booked the same table, ordered her favorite flowers, and even bought a new suit for the occasion. He was buzzing with excitement all day, picturing the look on her face. But an hour before they were supposed to leave, Sarah called. "Mark, I'm so sorry," she said, her voice sounding strained. "A last-minute client crisis. I can't get away. We'll have to celebrate this weekend, I promise." Mark's heart sank. A client crisis on their anniversary. It felt wrong. Disappointment washed over him, cold and heavy. He sat alone at the perfectly set table, the flowers seeming to mock him with their vibrant colors. That night, he couldn't shake the feeling that he wasn't just competing with her job anymore. He was competing with a secret. The trust he had so freely given was beginning to fracture, and a seed of doubt had been planted. He didn't want to believe it, but the signs were becoming too loud to ignore. He started noticing other small, odd things. Sarah, who was usually an open book, was suddenly fiercely protective of her phone. It was always face down, always on silent. Once, he'd playfully reached for it to look up a movie time, and she'd snatched it back so fast it was almost a reflex. The alarm bells in his head went from a quiet chime to a deafening siren. Who was she texting so secretively? Why did she jump every time her phone buzzed? The easy intimacy they once shared was being replaced by a wall of secrets, and Mark felt like he was on the outside looking in. Mark wasn't the type to snoop. The thought of violating her privacy felt like a betrayal in itself. But his own sanity was on the line. The not knowing was eating him alive. He felt like he was going crazy, questioning every little thing. Was he being paranoid? Or was his intuition right? He decided he needed proof, one way or another. He didn't want to be the guy who checks phone records, but he felt like he had no other choice. He needed the truth, even if it was the last thing he wanted to hear. With a heavy heart, he checked their shared phone bill online. His eyes scanned the list of numbers, and one stood out. It appeared again and again, at all hours of the day and night. Texts and calls, sometimes lasting for over an hour. He didn't recognize the number. A quick search online linked it to a man named Alex, a fellow architect at a rival firm. A quick look at Alex's social media profile revealed a handsome, charming man. The pieces of the puzzle started clicking into place, forming a picture he never wanted to see. The client meetings and late nights suddenly had a face and a name. The confirmation didn't bring relief, only a deep, gut-wrenching pain. The floor fell out from under him. The life he had built, the future he had imagined, it all crumbled in an instant. This wasn't just a physical betrayal. It was an emotional one. The hours she spent talking to Alex were hours stolen from him, from their marriage. The love and support he thought he was giving her were being redirected to someone else. The woman he loved, the woman who said she loved him deeply, was living a double life. Mark knew he had to confront her. He couldn't live with this lie for another second. He waited for her to come home that night, the phone bill sitting on the kitchen counter like a ticking time bomb. When she walked in, she smiled her usual tired smile, but it looked different to him now. It looked like a mask. "Tough day?" she asked, oblivious. Mark just pointed to the bill. "Who is Alex, Sarah?" The color drained from her face. For a moment, she was speechless. Then the excuses started, a waterfall of them. "He's just a friend. We're just working on a project together. You're overreacting." But Mark had seen the truth. He saw the hundreds of calls, the thousands of texts. This wasn't just a friendship. He calmly laid out the evidence, his voice steady despite the storm raging inside him. He saw the denial in her eyes slowly turn to shame, and then finally, to a confession. The truth was devastating. It had been going on for months. She said she felt lost, that the pressure of her career was overwhelming, and Alex understood her in a way she felt Mark couldn't. She cried and said she still loved him, that she never meant to hurt him. But the words felt hollow. Her actions had told a different story, a story of deceit and betrayal. Love, Mark realized, isn't just a feeling you have. It's a choice you make every single day. It's about respect, honesty, and commitment, even when things get tough. Sarah had chosen to walk away from those commitments. In the aftermath, Mark felt a strange mix of emotions: grief, anger, and a surprising sense of clarity. The picture-perfect marriage was an illusion. The foundation wasn't a fortress, it was made of sand. While the pain was immense, the truth was liberating. He no longer had to live with the anxiety of the unknown. He deserved a love that was real, honest, and built on a foundation of mutual respect. Walking away was the hardest thing he ever had to do, but it was also an act of self-love. He was choosing himself, choosing a future where "I love you" wasn't just a phrase, but a promise that was kept. This story is a powerful reminder that if something feels wrong, it often is. Trusting your intuition is so important. And remember, if you're ever struggling with feelings of doubt or betrayal in a relationship, talking to a friend, a family member, or a professional counselor can make all the difference. You're not alone. Thanks for watching, everyone. If this story resonated with you, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more content. We'll see you in the next one.